Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rafal Gladys coming in today with Christopher Vitautus Didysis Packet, who has just made it here with his glass of water. Today is the second to last match of Week 10 of the PMA LCS Season 5, with Oof versus YALL coming in tonight on this wonderful Sunday evening. We hope you will stick with us today. Sorry about the late start. We are excited to join you for this fantastic game of League of Legends.
You mean you hope y'all will stick with us for tonight?
Oof. All right.
Good lord, dude.
All right. Pick ban is about to start. Let's see. We have quite a few subs coming in today, by the way, for those who don't know. Salaga is subbing in on Oof for Shaboy, and we have Uncle Jemima and Sir Everett subbing in on YALL for
Is Iron 4 Noob and Syracuse?
Syracuse, yeah. Correct.
Here we go. Now, speaking of which, after Syracuse exit from the league a little while ago, y'all currently on a rotating sub list for jungle spot, so basically we have no way of knowing who's going to play that jungle position going into Wet Week. So it'll be very interesting to watch. But the only match it's likely going to affect is next week, unless y'all makes playoffs. It could happen.
Yeah. I would assume that it's probably Sir Everett's in the jungle, because Sir Everett's is a jungle main despite being ADC this split. Although at the same time, while Sivan is normally their ADC, he has been playing jungle recently, so I guess at the end of the day, you don't really know who's going to be playing what, which does add a lot more threats against Oof here, who has to really think about what they're going to be banning.
Yeah, and in general, y'all has a lot of flex positions on their team, because Nate can always take the Lucian bot lane, open up that mid lane option for Sivan there, and then Sir Everett's can play jungle. Sir Everett's also can rotate between AD and jungle, along with Sivan, who currently plays, as far as we've seen, 3 positions that he feels comfortable fielding in the PMA LCS.
Yeah, the only players I would actually pin down for this game is Uncle Jemima and top, and Slaga Slosh and support. But other than that, I mean, we'll see where everybody goes. And we do have a LeBlanc and Alawi bands who are definitely targeted at Sivan and Uncle Jemima.
Yeah, right now going through this draft, it seems a whole lot of the draft is focused on taking away comfort picks for both sides here. That Kang going to be removed from Elucida very quickly, as well as Neko Guy's Renekton and Slaga's Alistar. And then the Kai'Sa LeBlanc also being removed from Sivan, in addition to the Alawi being removed from Uncle Jemima. Not really seeing one single, meta ban here. I'd say all of these bans are target bans.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Every single one of these is a champ that their respective players have popped off on at some point this split. Y'all coming with an early Morgana pick, honestly, a very good idea, knowing that Mudkips actually plays it in the mid lane for Oof, and being able to flex it between Slaga Slash and potentially their mid laner here. Do you know that Slaga Slash really does like his Morgana, though, so it's likely a support pick, but we'll see.
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here with the Lucian being locked in already. I'm going to go ahead and lock this in for Lucian, Morgana, bot, and they're going to put Sivan mid. And Nate's going to take the Lucian bot, and then Slaga's going to play the Morgana. And the Nami, though, very good answer to Morgana, has a very good matchup in that bot lane, and it looks like both of the bot lanes have been picked up already. So, alternatively, though, I just said that, but I'm sure Sivan could probably play Lucian. Not that difficult of a champion, and I'm sure he's put in some games on it in the past. And with that Morgana being able to be flexed, now that they've forced the Nami pick out, moving it mid lane again and getting themselves an advantageous support matchup is now a pretty good option.
Yeah. At the same time, I do think that, considering that Oof has also flexed between jumpers and Mudkips in the mid lane and 80 carry roles, I think that y'all is probably thinking about where to put Steven and where to put Nate, because they would probably rather have Steven lane against jumpers to match them as being, their respective, arguably best players on their teams. So they're probably thinking about where to put who in this matchup here.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And the Hecarim jungle being locked in already. I mean, actually, probably a Hecarim jungle could easily be a Hecarim top lane, though. I'm not. There's subbing. Who's subbing in tonight for y'all? Top lane?
We have
Uncle
Uncle
Jemima.
Jemima in the top lane.
I don't know if that Hecarim pick screens Uncle Jemima. Realistically, I'm expecting Sivan to play it jungle now.
Yeah,
This
actually,
draft
now
could
that I think about
honestly
it,
go
Steven has played it,
ways.
which would then make Sir Everett's AD carry. And
On
Nate,
the Lucian, yeah, that would. And then Nate mid, and Slugger could easily play the Morgana. And so, yeah, I think what this draft is getting at of y'all has actually so far done a really good job of keeping their options open throughout their flex rolls, and really none of these picks they've opened up have really revealed much of anything other than the Hecarim jungle, probably confirming that Sivan's most likely going to jungle. And that being said, though, we can also look on the side of Oof, and the Sejuani being locked in likely means that'll probably be going to Mudkips in the jungle, because Sejuani not a pick we're used to seeing coming out of Elucida, and the only options he usually takes for tank junglers be something like Zac. So I feel confident saying Mudkips is jungling on this game on the side of Oof.
yeah, which would lead to Lucida probably being mid. And I mean, when I'm thinking about what he actually plays in the mid lane, what comes to mind first to me
Zoe.
is Zoe. Yeah, his big
Zoe
thing
and
in the mid
Echo.
lane is Zoe.
And so if they're smart here, they hold the counter pick mid. But the nice part is Hansu gets a blind. Elucida gets a blind pick here, and it's probably going to be the Zoe because they really haven't banned any of Elucida's mid pool on the side of y'all, and the Malzahar ban coming across likely targeted at Mudkips in the mid lane because I've seen Mudkips on Malzahar before. I actually played that against me in week 8,
Oh,
week 9,
that is
something
a
like that.
Jace
But
pick.
cat.
That is a Jace pick.
Okay, that is a Jace pick, not a cat. I was like, it's very surprising.
Yeah,
I know Sivan likes assassins,
yeah,
but he
that is
doesn't play
definitely
cat.
Jace in top lane for Uncle Jemima, who is very proficient on Jace after his Alawi. Usually goes opts into the Jace.
Yeah, so I think based upon what we're seeing in this draft so far, I feel confident locking it in Sivan jungle. And this last pick will kind of tell us what we're dealing with here. But the Maokai coming in,
I think we really need a high damage mid laner here because this team is
yeah,
very tanky, and the Ezreal might take a minute to really be dishing out a lot of damage. So
I think the Zoe works pretty okay here.
yeah, I think with the Maokai and Sejuani, I think Zoe has a lot of opportunities for picks for getting a lot of guaranteed bubbles. So would not be a bad pick here. Yeah, and there we
Yeah,
go.
there's Zoe coming in.
Yep.
That's the classic against Doof. Pretty much every team in the league forgets to ban Elucida Zoe, and the flex option that I completely, especially when I played against when SVT played against them a couple weeks ago, I think I correctly called that the Sejuani was like Hansu doesn't play Sejuani, so the Sejuani lock-in had me with a lot of questions, and then I saw the Zoe locked in and was like, oh,
Hmm.
I really should have known.
Yeah.
I
And a
really,
Victor
really
being
should have known.
picked to counter the Zoe.
So I'm not entirely sure how that matchup goes. I think both Nate and Sivan play that champion actually.
Yeah, honestly, I really feel like we won't know. We have like an inkling of who's playing what, but we really won't know for sure until the picks just kind of come out. To be honest.
Yeah, this is kind of a mess so far. So, in terms of evaluating just on raw composition right now, I have to say I'm really actually favoring Oof's composition here. And the reason being they have that poke core consists of the Ezreal Zoe here, and they have a decent amount of damage to put out in fights. And y'all really doesn't have that much of a front line except for the Hecarim here. And Oof has strong front line. They have pretty good disengage with the Nami, and they just have a lot of tools that help them play the way they want to. The thing that can get kind of scary, though, is I assume that Victor pick does reasonably well into the matchup, and Jace should likely have a reasonably high pressure matchup on the top side as well. So I think the solo lanes could be shifted slightly in favor of y'all, and so that'll be kind of scary going into this game. However, that bottom lane's also very interesting because you have the Lucian into the Ezreal, but which definitely favors the Lucian early on. But the Nami into the Morgana definitely favors the Nami, so it'll be an interesting bot lane to watch.
Yeah, I also feel like when looking at these team comps here, like you were saying, Oof, in terms of just their team comp, it has a much more defined goal and strategy here. You have your two tanks, You have peel for the Ezreal, peel for the Zoe. You have the Nami to protect them in the backline and heal them to disengage. Y'all's team comp, I don't know necessarily what they're looking for here, because you have Morgana looking for picks. Hecarim can dive into the backline, but the Jace is more looking for poke. So I'm curious to see how they pull off the comp that they've picked. But like you said, they do have early lane pressure. For all we know, they could just snowball the pressure they get and just turn it into a win, whether or not the team comp itself on paper is stronger than the other one.
Yeah, honestly, y'all doesn't really have that strong of engage except for the Hecarim. And so it's really going to take members of OOF getting caught out in order to make them lose a late game fight, especially if they reach late game, or just like 3 of them just sitting in the Victor ult and roasting or something like that.
Yeah,
it's going to take
definitely one shot a lot of people here.
It's going to take y'all having a good team fight in order to kill OOF late game. There's just no way around that. And they have the kite back with the Ezreal, the Zoe. They have the disengage. They have the late game burst damage. They just have so many different tools in this comp. Perhaps the one thing I could point out as being a bit of a weakness may be that all of the champions in that comp are a little one-dimensional. Zoe really only pokes and one-shots. Nami is kind of only a healer and a cleric, but I will say though, Nami is probably one of the most diverse Enchantress supports, actually.
Yeah, without a doubt. Nami can provide a lot of different roles to the team. I mean, obviously the big one is the wave. You can catch people out with the bubble. You can heal your allies. So a lot of opportunities for this Nami to really shine in this game.
So I'm looking at this for the side of y'all, and I'm looking to see how they can really open up this early game, because I think that's going to be what's going to help them by far the best. And focus needs to be on the Nami and the Zoe, setting up opportunities, setting up gank opportunities for this Hecarim, and then fighting level 6 around objectives, getting big team bites, and catching members of OOF out is going to be the key. Because OOF actually has a very rough time taking skirmishes throughout the early to mid game, just because when they don't have their full team comp together or executing its plan, it's very difficult for each individual member of OOF to really, play the game until they've scaled up. So you got Sejuani, she only tanks, You have the Zoe, which like I said earlier, only pokes, and you have the Ezreal, which is really safe, but doesn't really output a lot of damage, especially until he gets items.
Yeah. So quick thing, looking at the champ start right now, unless there's a quick switch, it looks like Seavan is actually going to be going mid lane with Sir Everett's in the jungle.
Okay, I'm not surprised to see that. I was just unaware that Sir Everett played Hecarim.
I do hope that Seavan turns off that smite though.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Also, kind of hoping for the Hecarim to take Ghost instead of Flash, or Ignite. Don't take Flash. Oh no! Don't do it, Chief. Rip.
Is this happening?
This is actually happening.
Oh no. I'm praying that this is a mistake on the game side for showing us this.
Oh, he got TP.
All right, TP. He got a TP.
You got teleport. We did it.
There we go. We're good.
So we got Jesus Christ, dude, 3-minute spectator delay. I feel like we've been through all this stuff. So yeah, I gotta ask you, waffles or pancakes?
So that's actually a very interesting question. So when I was in middle school and most of high school, my nickname was actually Waffle. So I have an affinity towards waffles, but I feel generally I prefer
Discord
pancakes.
pictures. Your Discord pictures waffles too.
Discord picture is a waffle.
Yeah, honestly, I actually very much agree. As a Southern boy myself, I very much have an affinity towards waffles, because like chicken and waffles and stuff come from. But at the same time, pancakes are so good, dude. Pancakes are actually so mind-blowingly good. They're simple, they're tasty.
I feel like because they're simple, you have a lot more diversity in what you can actually do with them, You can get your chocolate chips, you can get your different syrups. Like,
have you ever had chocolate chip waffles? I've never had chocolate chip waffles.
That's definitely not impossible. It's just waffles are so much denser, which in a way is good because they're able to soak up more syrup and stuff. Hypothetically,
that's why I like pancakes. They're so light and fluffy.
That's true.
Especially good pancakes. They're delicious.
I'm live for quite just for a bit, just to intervene on this conversation. It's spicy. So look up Japanese jiggly pancakes, hotcakes.
Oh, I've been meaning to make those.
It looks crazy, and I've actually made them before, and it's the weirdest thing. And it's
Do you just put pancake batter in a rice cooker? Is that all you do?
I mean, you have to put it in like a water bath kind of, and bake it.
Okay.
It's almost like in a water bath, and you have to get a mold for it too.
Because I've seen that you can just put pancakes in a rice cooker and apparently just makes these big fluffy pancakes. Apparently,
Rice cooker? I hardly know her, dude.
Anyways, I'm muting myself again. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Hoagie.
Bye.
Are there any more pressing philosophical questions for the rest of the world?
Are you excited for PMA LCS Live?
Hell yeah, dude.
As we all should be. It's less than a month, 25 days.
Yeah, my drive.
Days it's happening.
My drive's either going to be 10 hours or 12 hours. I don't know which one yet.
I think mine is 14 hours.
Because the issue being, I've got to go to Tennessee at some point, and it's like the most efficient way for me to do this is go back home and then stay there, and then drive down to Dallas and then drive back to Peoria. So that's likely going to be the route that I take, because otherwise it adds on 10 extra hours or 12 extra hours of driving in order to make a flight work. So overall, the whole point of flying would be to save time and money, but in the end, I would save neither time, especially not money.
Yeah. Wait, where are you from again?
From Tennessee.
Okay.
It's outside Nashville.
Okay. I on my way to national convention last summer, we drove through Memphis, and Memphis was wild because it has it's like the largest pyramid in North America or something like that.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Look up the everyone in chat, look up the Bass Pro Shop pyramid.
It is like that the largest, one, yeah.
It's like a shrine to hunting, and it's like the largest pyramid in North America, something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, if that really doesn't tell the story of America, I don't know what does. The largest pyramid we have in here is actually it's the Bass Pro Shops pyramid.
It is just
We're getting into game here though, so I'm gonna pause at 10.
Same.
Let me in game, Chief.
Agreed.
Okay. So, let's go out on a limb here before we do anything crazy. What are your predictions going forward into this game?
Alright, I'm pause at 10. I think that barring any ridiculous snowballing from y'all, I think that Oof has it in the bag just because their team comp has such a... Yes,
yeah.
We're all at 10. I think that because of Oof's team comp, which seems to be much more, defined and knows what it wants to do and has a more defined role than y'all's team comp, as long as y'all doesn't stomp, as long as you don't have like a 5-0 Hecarim at 20 minutes, or like a gigantic Jace, I really do think that Oof should do okay. But I guess we'll see. Like I said, it really depends on them preventing y'all from snowballing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough time here, and going forward into this game already, Oof coming out with a 3-man invade on the top side, and Uncle Jemima's Jace can be sitting in this top side bush right now, completely caught unawares though. He sees a Lucida coming in, and Uncle Jemima forced to flash over the wall immediately to avoid that danger. It'll be a very convenient pickup for Necro Guy in the top lane, should help alleviate a lot of that pressure in the match. Yep.
Yeah, without a doubt, going incredibly deep there, and managing to figure out, just confirm where Starbits is starting his jungle, although I guess you could probably assume that it was going to be bot side. Look at that Hecarim skin, though. Wow, that looks good.
Is that Lancer 0?
It is Lancer 0.
Oh!
I'm at like 7 gemstones. I think that's what I'm going to get at.
Yeah, I don't know. I got so sick of waiting for those skins, and half those champions I never played anyway. So I was just like, I don't care. I'm burning the gemstones on some chests. Honestly, I have no friggin' patience at all, dude. It's kind of sad.
I mean, the worst feeling is just when you get all your keys for being a good honorable boy, and then you open a chest and it's like a champion.
unless you don't own a lot of champions, I'm sure there's some people who are really excited to drop a 6300 champion.
That is true, but I had a day once where, like, as a Rumble main, I got Rumble in a box, and I was like, okay, there's a week of honors goes into getting a shard for a champion that I'm.
And I got Rumble. Yeah.
Great.
So you can't even use the champ shard to upgrade your mastery either. That's just actually depressing. And meanwhile in the spot lane, though, Jumpers and Slugga having a slight advantage already on Slugga, Slash, and Nate. And the good old classic Slugga, Slash, and DC
Slugga has been struggling to hit the last couple days with these connections, and it looks like we're going right back into it.
It's been the entire season, honestly.
Yeah, it is on. Blame probably the internet, whatever university Slugga is at, but
who knows, dude? All in a day's work.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Sir Everett's already up. He's already up 4 farm on Mudkip Sejuani right here. Looks like he's getting a better clear overall.
Yeah, a little bit. It looks like oh, I was gonna say who got the Scuttle, but Scuttle spawned later now. I forgot.
Yeah, Scuttles despawn. They spawn at
yeah, Mudkip's gonna be the
3 minutes,
top Scuttle here, but Sir Everett's could be walking into him in just 1 second.
Yeah, it might be spicy. I think we could encounter some top lane action coming very soon. Mudkip guarding this river, devastating charge popped. Mudkip's gonna smite away that Scuttle Crab though, before Sir Everett comes to fight him. And this pony is whacking away over here. About the bubble over the wall from Lucida. Sir Everett's flashing away immediately, proving me wrong. Good thing he took that instead of Ghost, otherwise he was a dead man. Meanwhile, yeah, and this is pretty. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and now top Scuttle is here, but I'm gonna be a little bit late to that, so this time Scarf is probably gonna be getting it.
Nate and Slugga Slasha going a little bit aggressive in the spot lane, trading on the Jumpers and Slugga, but unfortunately, in my opinion, like, Ezreal really doesn't do that poorly in Dilution. He just usually lacks pressure. Like, Nami, like, straight dumps on Morgana in lane unless they get hit and all end by bindings. Like, I actually think this bot lane should skew a little towards Oof in this scenario, actually, because Jumpers can play it safe and farm it up with the Nami heals, and as long as they don't get all in by a binding, like, they shouldn't die. And even if they do get hit by bindings right now, if they're sitting in the wave, they pretty much out-trade until Lucian, you know, completes, like, gets some items on him, gets that Blades of Ruin King.
Lucian actually was forced to recall early.
Yeah, it's never a fun time for your Lucian lane, and Slugga going up in this lane to trade with Slugga Slasha.
I love how they have
deals all the binding damage, dude. Yep. The fated duel of fates here in the bot lane. Slugga versus Slugga Slasha. Meanwhile, in this top lane, though, Necro Guy already brought pretty low on this Maokai, but doing a good job managing to survive through this lane so far. Only 4 or 5 farm down currently. That's a pretty decent spot to be in as a Maokai, and especially in this scenario, the nice part is that most of the top side's already completely gone, so, you know, he can literally just play it safe and farm under turret until Mudkips needs to come top side again, and then at that point, it's going to become a little bit, you know, okay, what's going on? Where's Sir Everett's on the map here? Are there any fights that are going to be forced? Because, you know, you don't want to force fights when you have a laner that's stuck under turret, or else they can't rotate or they lose waves.
Yeah, at the same time, if Uncle Jemima recalls right now, he does have the money for a Serrated Dirk, which will kind of negate this Glacial Shroud being built here, so... I mean, Uncle Jemima is in a pretty good spot, but again, I mean, Jace will not be as useful as he could be if he doesn't leave lane with any kills, because Necro Guy will just out-tank him over time.
And this Jace really needs to get something moving in the early game to the mid game here. Looking at this 1 item, 2 item spike, can carry Ghostblade, Dustblade, or can carry usually a Ghostblade Cleaver nowadays. It's gonna be what you normally see coming out of Jace. And so I'm really looking to see Uncle Jemima come out on top in this mid game, and you should probably recall now he's pushed that wave in top. That's a perfect time to go in and get a Serrated Dirk and come back and start seeing if he can bully Necro Guy out of that lane some more, because they absolutely need to take advantage of this Jace pick, this lane, these pretty okay solo lanes that they have in order to get some much needed pressure on this map.
Yeah, meanwhile in the mid lane, which we haven't talked about much yet, we have Steven and Elucida, who are both even in farm, but Elucida is getting chunked down significantly more than Steven, and Steven looks like he's keeping back the lane and is able to recall his Corrupting Potion. Well, Elucida is stuck here, and either has to push the lane out with some help or just lose probably a plate if he goes for a recall.
And we have some action going on down in the bot lane. Nate forced to burn his heal after a bubble from Slugga, but Slugga goes in with the freaking ebb and flow and gets the first blood. Slugga Slasha knocked up by Slubble, but the bubble from Slugga flash forward from Jumper. It's not going to be enough to take down the Morgana, though, and he's going to retreat under the safety of his tower and get out just fine.
Slugga playing like an absolute madman and taking the kill for himself. No fear.
Did Slugga's alphaing mode? Like, he's going alpha mode tonight. At the same time, I also think you might want to check some of those dodge mechanics, though. Like, actually kind of just, like, walk straight into the bubbles, I'll be honest.
Oh, and a clean ult snipe from Jumper.
Ooh, that's crazy! We're not synced up, actually. What's your time at?
I am at 8:05, 6, 7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, can you guys pause for like 2 seconds then? And get me back?
I'm at 8:11.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I said pause for 2 seconds, not...
Right, let's everyone pause at 8:30.
Let's do that. I'll pause at 8:30 then.
And let's get it all sorted out.
Alright, I'm paused.
Alright, unpause on go. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright.
8:32, 33, 34, 35, 6.
We are good.
Alright, good. And getting back into this game now.
Uncle Jemima recalling for a phage. I don't know how I feel about that. I understand the idea of wanting an early Black Cleaver, so you can more easily melt down Necro Guy, but at the same time, I feel like you lose out on a lot of potential lane harass here by not going for a swing.
I think you kind of do, but at the same time, I honestly respect the Cleaver buy, because he has the Maokai to deal with, and also the Sejuani. Really, the only way that the Cleaver isn't a better item for him here in a lot of fights is going to be if he rotates bot lane or goes onto Zoe in, you know, mid-game skirmish. So I think I respect the Black Cleaver as an option, just because the vast majority of what he should be fighting against going forward in the early to mid-game are going to be these tanks. However, if they go for 5-man contests and the groupings, I think you'll want to see that Jace with the Ghostblade coming in and hitting the back line with some of those Ghostblade, you know, some of those Ghostblade EQ combos, though.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, likely he will have both. It's just kind of, you know, choosing when to buy which one, when it's more useful.
And this bot lane, Slugga playing extremely aggressive, and they're now starting to push that advantage and bully Nate and Slugga Slasha out of lane.
Yeah, the two lanes that we knew were going to be harder for to get out of laning phase are currently both even in CS, while the bot lane has 2 kills. So, I mean, currently the early game is really ideal for them. Hecarim has not been able to really get a gank out yet.
Yeah, this is a good time to be oof. And Mudkip's chilling in this bottom side looking for, you know, just looking for something, anything right now. But we also have Sir Everett's down here in this bot side jungle. We could possibly see some skirmishes going down here in just a little bit. This Infernal Drake up right now, going to be a huge point of contention in this early game. Both comps looking to augment their powers with this Infernal Drake, boost that attack damage and ability power. It's going to make both of these comps do so much damage.
Yeah, definitely. And both wanting the Infernal Drake for slightly different reasons. Oof wanting it so that their tanks actually have a little bit of damage and to boost the few damage dealers they have.
Everett's actually getting some cheeky raptors here, but Mudkips has found him and is onto him. Elucida here with the contest. He'll throw his beach ball over the wall as Mudkips and Sir Everett duke it out in the bottom side. Sivan and Elucida going in, but here's Slugga with the rotation. Tidal Wave coming in. Sir Everett's missing the flash over the wall. Gonna go down. Kill going over to Slugga. Going to be a rough time. However, Elucida forced the flash out from Sivan's Death Ray.
Slaga
And-
playing with no fear whatsoever.
Slosha caught between True Shot and Boar, and Alyssa just...
Lucida barely getting sniped by the laser from Sivan.
Sivan just roasted him. Just looked at his mans and said, "Yo, what's up, dude?"
And Mudkip's starting the dragon, definitely not the best idea right now with the Lucid or dead, and Sivan just around the corner.
There's very good Dark Binding coming in from Mudkips, and he's gonna get gatted down by the double guns from Nate over here. And Sivan going out on this Victor, looking for more. Nate dashing out of the bubble on Slaga, but Jumpers and Slaga are here. This bot lane is so fed, doing so much damage. Nate forced to heal and get out already.
I'm not sure how necessary that was, but, you know, just to be safe, I suppose.
Very scary if you're Oof right now, though, just because you have this deficit being opened up in this jungle matchup. Sir Everett is pretty far ahead on farm on this Hecarim, and we're about to hit the point in the game where Hecarim loves playing. He's going to finish this. Actually, he's not going for the Warrior. He's staying on the Stalker's Blade and going straight for the Trinity Force. Normally, right now with Conquer Hecarim, you see them choosing to finish the entire Warrior, but Sir Everett's going to go straight for the Trinity Force this game.
Yep, and in the top lane we have both top laners with TP right now, but you know, top lane just kind of being top lane. No one with a huge advantage so far. Everyone's kind of farming. It looks like Necroguy is going for a first item, Righteous Glory, if I am correct in...
That should be a Righteous Glory.
Yeah,
I can actually see that.
That's what it comes. Crystalline Bracelet and Glacier Shot turning Righteous Glory. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that itemization choices. I don't really think Oof needs to be going in and engaging fights. They have the Ezreal, the Zoe, the poke. Although I can definitely see it being very convenient just to have it as a go button once Ezreal and Zoe are finished poking. Because, you know, Necroguy drops the Righteous Glory and then Mudkips just runs in and throws the Glacial Prison at someone. It's very easy to clean up the fight after Ezreal and Zoe have done their job and poked everyone down.
Yep. Y'all looking for a dragon here, and no one really able to stop them. Sivan single-handedly zoning away Mudkips and a Lucida. I think they're just gonna be picking this up.
Yeah, since the Dragon's just gonna go over to y'all here, but Necroguy coming in with the flank teleport from the side. Tidal Wave coming in from Slaga though, and y'all realize they're in trouble. Glacial Prison goes awry. See if flank gonna get mowed down. Gonna go over to Lucia. Necroguy man-moding on Maokai over here. 1v3. And Nate and Slosha and Sir Everett's all forced to run away with their lives. Nate barely gonna survive by the skin of his teeth in the end. That is one hunky tree.
That is. Slaga now with the only bounty in the game, with 100% kill participation, playing like an absolute beast. Necroguy unfortunately not rewarded with an assist, despite that huge 1v3 in the backline there. But that definitely did help them turn the fight in their favor.
So y'all got the Infernal Drake, and that was pretty good. The issue is Oof finally got themselves into position, found the engage they needed, and y'all just wasn't in a very good spot to be able to disengage that. Slosha was doing what he could with the Morgana binding, but, you know, it just wasn't enough to save that, you know, to save the hyper engage coming in on the side of Oof and getting out of there with a couple kills.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Ezreal. I'm wondering what he's going to be itemizing into between Trinity Force and Iceborne. I would say generally Iceborne, but I feel the team has such low damage. Trinity Force might be the call here, especially with so much peel from the rest of his team.
I think Iceborne's actually still the move here, and the reason being for this is you have the Jace that's probably going to want to pick up some lethality items at some point, so that'll help against that. You have the Hecarim that's going to be diving the backline as well. Almost all the damage coming in from y'all is going to be diving or flanking in terms of the Lucian, one of the more, you know, dive-heavy assassin, kite-around-minded AD carry playstyle that the role has to offer. And so you see Lucian struggling oftentimes in team fights where his job is to put out raw damage per second. And I think the Iceborne does a very good job of keeping this Ezreal alive in those situations. And they don't really need that much damage because they just have a heck of a like. They don't have, ooh, flash over the wall coming in from a Lucida. So Everett's gonna be taken down by the Sleepy Trouble Bubble Paddle Star combo. So much damage.
It's starting to do stuff here. It's starting to happen.
It's starting to come alive. Zoe's doing Zoe things, boys. What a stupid champion.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sivan has a CS and has a kill, but is unable to match the pressure of Zoe, who's, I mean, that bubble is just ridiculous. So much pressure is offered from that ability all over the map.
Yeah, Victor, I wouldn't say a very high autonomy champion. Sivan really can't do that much for himself in this situation because he's kind of the utility. He's the utility mage. I believe Victor is officially classified as a battle mage by Riot, and the reason being he works in a similar way to champions like Swain, and that he sustains the team fights with the shield from his siphon power and pumps out a lot of high damage over time using the Chaos Storm and the double procs of Death Ray. And the Gravity Field also really good for zoning people out, but unfortunately he doesn't really have many ways of start or, you know, particularly kiting for himself if he gets jumped on. Speaking of getting jumped on, though, Lucida,
Wow!
Oh my god, Sir Everett's barely surviving.
Missed the auto attack to kill.
Yeah, and Sivan flashing in the way to try and tank Elucida's Sleepy Trouble, trying to tank the paddle star for him, but missing the contests on the flash.
Yeah,
so giving Elucida auto. This is actually disgusting. Sir Everett's just not, like, honestly just not respecting the damage output coming out of this Zoe. He thinks he's caught out this Zoe, and then she just bubbles him and then turns on him. And barely gets out with his life.
Yeah, it is crazy. Right now, the only MR in the game built on Uncle Jemima so far, too.
And another next Drake coming up to be looking at relatively soon is going to be this Cloud Drake. This is yet another very y'all-friendly dragon. Could be very useful on the Hecarim duo under running because it literally gives him more damage. And the rest of y'all, the Jace, the Victor, the Lucian, really like to kite around fights instead of necessarily hard engage. So this Cloud Drake going to be a big point of contention for both teams, just like the last Infernal Drake was. And while I was discussing that, Sivan picking up that first turret in the mid lane and managing to get out without taking too much damage.
Yeah, managing to, like I said, keeping up the pressure in lane, just unable to match it on a map-wide scale. A wave coming out of Slog in the bot lane, though, and a huge dive in.
Wow, in the bind. Oh, he's so low! And that's the Blade of the Ruin King Lucian power spike coming out there. Managing to actually take down Slogga, despite the fact that they went aggressive on that play. Slogga Slash again to go golden mode, and Jumpers finish the kill with the Mystic Shot, but gets caught up in the binding and trampled down under the hooves of Sir Everett as the Glacial Prison goes wide from Mudkips.
And with his dying breath, Slogga Slash passing a kill onto Sir Everett's much needed kill for this Hecarim.
Yeah, that's actually a very important sequence of events. They're getting they got a shutdown on Slogga, which immediately, admittedly is 150 gold. So not that big of a deal, but also getting a kill on Jumpers going to be crucial. And Lucian, one thing you got to respect about him is that Blade of the Ruin King power spike, and now he's sitting on that blade. He sustained through that fight, and he healed through it, and in general just dealt a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, and now we see Morgana finishing up her Twin Shadows with the Glacial Augment. So,
yeah, Glacial Augment Twin Shadows definitely a pick we're used to seeing. But meanwhile, Sivan getting caught out in the mid lane, but the Chaos Storm roasting Elucida on the side.
Barely making it out.
Ooh. Sivan gonna make it out of that one pretty unscathed, along with the help of Slugga Slasha and Elucida almost walking back into the last proc of the Chaos Storm there, but luckily for him, the Chaos Storm evaporating before he could actually die to it.
Yeah, and the thing I was gonna say is that Mudkips, while he fell behind in CS earlier in the game, he was able to keep it together and not stray more than maybe 25 CS behind for the last maybe 10 minutes. But now Servants is starting to really pull ahead with a 50 CS lead against his opponent in the game, which is going to be especially big for a carry jungler like
and the top side there, Necro and Mudkips paying a visit to Uncle Jemima. Uncle Jemima going to flash away on this Jace, but Slugga Slasha here with the disengage. Binding goes wide, but the black shield is what's needed, and Uncle Jemima going to walk away from that one. Sir Everett's waiting in the wings, but going to instead go back onto this red buff over here.
Yeah, and looking at the gold, it is completely dead even right now. Both teams having one turret, just the dragon advantage for y'all.
You got more fighting going on the top lane here. Uncle Jemima trading with Necro Guy, bringing him down to around 55% over here.
Jumpers hunting for a kill here. I don't know if this is the safest
Meanwhile,
play here.
Jumpers might be in a bit of a tight spot, but all of Oof is right here.
Oh,
Sir
the
Everett's
bobble
popping
hit.
the outside of shadows over the wall, and Sir Everett's gonna get mowed down by the true shot barrage. Bonus damage from the Sleepy Trouble Bubble being procced on him as well. That is so much damage.
Yeah, the Hecarim with 0 MR.
And now Uncle Jemima caught in a tough spot. Glacial Prison comes in, gonna be eviscerated. Kill going over to Mudkits. Meanwhile, though, Cfan and Nate pushing down this bot lane over here, gonna close that bot lane tier 2 turret, and Slugga Slasha getting that turret as well.
Though.
Yeah, that's actually scary.
Yeah, that was actually 3 turrets for y'all in exchange for 1 for Oof. I mean, the only consolation is being able to kill Uncle Jemima and Sir Everett, but was that worth it for all the map they've just opened up so much of the map, especially with the dragon coming up now. It'll be tough to control all of that.
Yeah, on one hand, now they have dragon control, but on the other, probably not going to last for long because Slugga Slosh is still chilling at 3/4 health. He's actually maxed Black Shield first, which will really help them play against Elucida's Sleepy Trouble Bubbles, and as well try and help prevent some of this deadly engage and crowd control coming in from Oof's team comp. And Oof choosing to go ahead and trade this dragon away and open up the map in order to get this first turret mid. Elucida still waiting on the flanks. It's a Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and the True Shot Barrage is gonna absolutely eviscerate Slugga Slasha through the Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Disgusting.
Ezreal Zoe is a very disgusting core, and Cvan caught out by another bubble over the wall, and here comes Necro Guy, the big tree, popping the righteous glory, going in. They got a pony and a flash. Sleepy Trouble coming in from Elucida, gonna go on to Cvan and clean up that kill on the Victor. And now Uncle Jemima caught out in a rough spot, but looks like Oof don't want it, and they are going to back off and head straight down this mid lane. They are looking for this tier 2 turret. Elucida in position, throwing more bubbles over the wall, doing Zoe things over here. Seems this composition from Oof has just come into its own big time in this mid game.
Yeah, the poke is happening and no one can get onto the Ezreal or the Zoe right now.
Yeah, there's absolutely engage, and the one form of engage they have has been the onslaught of shadows from Sir Everett's, but I believe it also got used last fight in order to make him escape. So y'all just needs to calm down, chill, get some wards up, make sure they're not getting hit by Zoe engages over the wall, because quite literally they're burning all their engages and repositioning tools that they could use to carry fights just to make sure they don't die to the Zoe. Elucid is getting so much out of them, getting Hecarim ults, getting flashes from the Victor, just outright exploding the Morgana. And now the Twin Shadows coming in. Slugga Slasha actually going to get drowsied up again, not going to matter. Sir Everett's coming in here as one angry pony. But Mudkits with the save over the wall with the Arctic Assault. However, probably going to pay the iron price. Slugga Slasha going to flash in here, get the takedown onto Elucida, and that is one tanky boar from Mudkits. But Jumpers doing so much damage in the Glacial Prison slow field. Jumpers frontlining, slogging at the takedown onto Nate in the end with that tidal wave. And now Cvan sitting in the corridor on this Victor, but they're on Uncle Jemima now with a flash out of Necro Guy. And now y'all's winning this fight. They're getting the turns, their damage is a lie. They have a scary Victor and they're just roasting everything.
Yeah, y'all forgetting that while they have a tanky frontline, they have only 2 damage dealers on this team. After Elucida and Jumpers are dead, they need to stop going in. There was no way Mudkits and Necro Guy and Slugga together were going to get even 1 kill there, and they just kept running in. They need to acknowledge, we've lost our carries, we need to take a step back.
And I was talking about the one-dimensional each of the individual players in their team comp. So once you lose the carry, once you lose one or both of the carries, their comp does 0 damage.
Yeah, and now we're looking at the map here. We have again both teams with an inhib down. An inhib turret down and pretty much equal gold.
Yeah, just been a very interesting game of back and forths between both teams, and now we are dead even going into this late game here. We're doing some Baron dances now.
Yeah, Chris, actually, I may have misclicked something on my game, and can you tell me your time right now?
26, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You doing okay over there, Fall?
Yes.
Okay, good. Even if you're not entirely on, like, as long as I'm casting play-by-play and I'm synced with the stream, you can come in and clean up after me, so we're
Where
good.
are you at now? I think we're good.
47, 48. Oh, Slogger getting mowed down by the damage, and Rachel Fraser coming in on the Nate here. Is Lucian gonna run away, but that's 5 very angry members of OOF going on to Nate here. Could go in over his Necro guy. However, meanwhile, in this mid lane, Steven on this Victor. It is inhibitor, and OOF is onto this Baron right now. I don't know if they noticed, but Sir Everett's on the flank onto a Lucida here.
Steven's just pushing for the win.
Oh god, no! Oh, teleport out of. Oh, he stopped the teleport! Looks like Jumpers is gonna get back, but might be a little too, maybe too little too late here. And Sir Everett's actually been popping the Quicksilver Satch and taking down Mudkits in the 1v1. And Jumpers right now walking straight.
Huge enough.
Oh, last shot finishing off Seaman! Woo! He was so close to making that work.
Wow.
You got the Lichbane second on Victor, and one of the things you see out of Lichbane is a lot of times that'll shred towers. That'll shred the absolute living hell out of towers. And Seaman just running it down mid, and OOF being caught completely unaware there and not sure what to do about it. Seaman actually getting a Nexus turret, like getting an inhibitor and a Nexus turret for it, and a solo kill on the Jumpers.
Yeah, Uncle Jemima giving his life away to stop Necro Guy's teleport. Absolute madman, and going right in to save the day and let Steven keep pushing.
Yeah, that's honestly the Seavan special. Anytime there are inhibitors or Nexus turrets open, when there's an objective up, he'll have his team posture around the Baron, and then he'll actually just run it down mid himself and put it on himself. And sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does.
Yeah, the gold somehow remaining even despite all those turrets taken for Steven. I'm wondering if it's the shut. I mean, yeah, I guess the kill favor is still on OOF's side. So they do have the kill gold. Looking at the CS leads though, Steven is now with a nice 50 CS lead over Lucida, as is Sir Everett's over Mudkips.
There's also a lot more assists on the side of OOF as well.
Agreed.
So, you know, compare, so let's see, you got one, hold on, y'all are actually gonna start up this Baron here, and Seavan in the bot lane with that split push pressure. OOF honestly in no position to respond to this right now, and I think they're aware what's happening. Mudkip's gonna intrude in this Baron pit, but Slugger Slosh is gonna pop the Soul Shackles on him, and now there's so much damage coming out. 4 members of y'all gonna mow down Mudkips in the river.
Right back on.
Necro Guy and Slaga are looking for the turn onto the Baron. I mean, the Nature's Grasp popped, and Sir Everett's taking dangerously low here. Heal being popped in the Baron pit. Ultimately, gonna be able to finish the Baron, but hot. Ooh, Lucida getting the steal on the Baron! This Zoe's going absolutely nuts. However, meanwhile in the bottom lane, Seavan has gotten the kill onto Jumpers and is looking to push down this top lane. Looking to push down this bot side inhibitor. Lucida down here onto Nate and Uncle Jemima up here. They're just trying to stop their backs. And Lucida be one Zoe versus the world right over here.
Them alone.
I think he can. I believe. That was actually a monumentally embarrassing seal.
That might have just completely saved the game. Despite that inhibitor being taken, the Baron will allow them to at least wait out this mid inhibitor and most of the bot inhibitor.
Yeah, I think it was more than worth the trade.
Yeah, at the point in the game where they're at, where I mean, to be fair, it looked like a done deal for y'all here with that Baron. So, you know, getting anything out of that is a huge win for OOF.
Yeah, that actually swung the gold back in their favor now, as they currently have a very tenuous 1.5k gold lead over y'all. After that sequence of events, holy moly.
Also, quick thing, Ezreal has built not only a Ludens, but also Morale and Omicron. Double AP coming out from the carries of OOF, and very little MR on y'all still.
Yeah, on one hand, I'm not sure if I dig the itemization from Jumpers on this Ezreal. I usually prefer going Gunblade third, especially when you pick up these, but this is also a very viable itemization on Ezreal. He's probably looking for much more burst damage, and this will actually synchronize the Sleepy Trouble Bubble True Shot Barrage combo that's already taken down members of YALL multiple times. So, all in all, not the worst idea. They're just going to have to play a little bit differently as a result of the build that Jumpers has chosen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he has pretty much no attack speed on this build right here, so it's definitely a bit of a different play style. Very poke heavy, trying to one-shot people with that ult, which we have seen work. We have seen that ult take, 60% of Slosh's health, just obliterate.
Oh my god, that's so much damage. Like, Elucida literally deals like a quarter of Victor's health bar with just the Sleepy Trouble Bubble and the Ludens.
Yeah, and this is with the death cap not even completed. He almost has enough gold for it, too.
This is gonna be one disgusting Zoe. Zoe's such a disgusting.
Every bubble I see almost hit just terrifies me.
Oh yeah, like, oh no, my booty hole gets mega clenched whenever I see a Zoe bubble traveling towards anyone. And
Another
like, there's no
up, which Stravers is gonna like a lot.
Oh yeah. There's no member on the side of y'all that wants to be tanking Zoe bubbles, like, ever. And another Zoe bubble going onto Slugga Slasha, and that's going to be the Zanya's pop from Slugga, and now the flash to get out of harm's way of that Nami bubble, also popping Twin Shadows just to be safe. Meanwhile, Uncle Jemima and Necro Guy having at it once again in the top lane, but that is one beefy tree, and Uncle Jemima having a lot of trouble dealing with damage.
Uncle Jemima.
This Jace, what can he do? That's the Nature's Grasp Haunts, but like Necro Guy is having little issues here. This Jace has finally mowed down just enough of his armor. However, this has given y'all the opportunity to posture for that dragon and take that Cloud Drake.
Yeah, the Conqueror and the Executioner's saving. Oh, wait a minute, he has to flash though. But Elucid is not able to get a kill. Yeah, saving Uncle Jemima's life just because he is unable to make, stops Necro Guy from being as effective as he could be. But, a really close fight. We see how tanky Necro Guy can be now.
Yeah, this is going to be a very scary time in Team Jemima, especially if he plays the split right. He has gone for that Blade of the Ruined King second on Jace, which this is actually a tank buster build that we're used to seeing on a decent amount of top laners. Jace and Renekton are the first two that come to mind. They will go Cleaver into Blade and look to just do tons of damage to the tanks and be able to sustain through them. So in this case, into the double tank pressure of Mudkits and Necro Guy, I actually very much like this Cleaver Bork build coming out of Jace. Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, especially seeing that he took Conqueror instead of Airy. I mean, he's looking for an extended fight to burn down these tanks instead of to poke anybody down because he knows he can't do it. He knows that Airy will not be effective against this beefy front line.
That's part of the reason in that fight that Necro Guy actually almost lost that. Conqueror healing, the Blade healing. It was almost too much for the three to deal with.
Yep.
And now y'all's gone onto this top side turret right now. Uncle Jemima with split push pressure in the mid lane. Alyssa clearing waves under the turret with Zoe. Nate dashing out of harm's way, that Sleepy Trouble bubble. And it's going to be very difficult in general to siege against this Zoe pick. And Oof going in here trying to clear out some wards now. Get themselves some wards coverage because, once they can clear out these wards, if y'all can't maintain the ward control, the Zoe's just going to pick people off left and right. And there's nothing they can do.
Yep, honestly, Elucida should back now because he has his death cap and the Baron is coming up soon. He needs to be buying this as soon as possible.
And once he gets that death cap, it's going to do so much damage. Like, he can actually just hit someone over the wall with a Sleepy Trouble Bubble and just chill. And he's already poked someone out of the fight. It's just...
Now, let's see. The bubble with the death cap completed now. Well, first of all, he has 455 AP, and the bubble itself will do about 400 damage.
That's disgusting. And then it also does the same amount of damage in bonus true damage anytime someone breaks the sleep. So like you get another True Shot Barrage snipe coming in from this Ezreal. That's going to deal 402 bonus true damage in addition to 650 plus 131 plus 178 damage. So, Hansu hits, Elucida hits someone with a Trouble Bubble,
Oh, in the bot lane, kind of stopped
Survivor getting caught out in mid lane though. Kill going in with the jumpers, and this is one beefy tree. Sivan having trouble breaking through this Maokai and flashing out of a gravity field right there.
Wow, yeah, he has nothing to do against that. The Spirit Visage. But the inhib might still fall.
Lucida and Slugga onto Slugga Slasher in the top lane though, but Sir Everett has chosen to run his pony like straight down this mid lane and now onto this mid lane inhibitor. Necrogride doing the best he can to defend against double inhibitor pressure. Mudkip's running at this pony right now. Sir Everett's gonna flash over this wall and y'all finally gonna call it off. It looks like Seaman and Sir Everett's turn tail and run for the hills, but Lucida and Slugga found Slugga Slasha in the top lane corridors, and then we're going to get mowed down by the Zoe damage. Kill going over to
Ooh, Nate forced to flash out.
In the bot lane, though, the onslaught shadow is coming in from Sir Everett's jumper is going to get taken down by one angry pony in the side lane.
Yeah, and we see this bottom inhibitor with only a couple hundred HP. I do not know if Necroguy alone can defend this, but Mudkips is here now to stop them. Yeah, we see the effectiveness of the healing on Necroguy. I mean, honestly, having the grievous wounds from Uncle Jemima really did change the 1v1 they had earlier, and it showed how not having a Merolomicon on Sivan allowed Necroguy to just not fall below 50% HP in that skirmish.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of questioning the Zanya's build, just because I feel like Morello is a much more important item in this situation in general, actually.
Yeah, with how tanky they are, you really need some magic penetration.
I feel like the Zanya's isn't really going to do much of anything against this team comp either, because once you know...
Yeah, if you're caught, no one's safe.
Yeah, if you Zanya's the engage, you just get mowed down anyway. Really, they have Morgana Black Shield. They don't really have anything to, like, reform a battle line or prevent or, you know, get in front of him and save his life after he Zanya's. They don't really have anything to protect their carries at all, except the Morgana Black Shield. And if you get caught with no Morgana Black Shield on you, you're basically dead anyway.
Yeah, also quick shout out, I just want to give out before anything wild starts here. Slugga with an absolutely colossal vision.
Oh, Nate blowing up. Oh! Fudge coming in from Jumper is going to take down Nate. And now y'all is running for the hills. Like the Jemima flashing over the wall. Hecarim dropping the onslaught shadows, getting out of there. But Oof cleaning up this team fight. Slugga Slasha dying on the bottom side river. And now Oof is Drake here. Meanwhile, though, Necroguy having a little bit of trouble against this beefy boy Victor in the top lane.
Auto him.
Man running him down. Finally going to get the kill on a Necroguy. But Oof is onto this Elder Drake and ooh, fantastic solo kill coming out of Elucida there. Gonna get the better of Sivan in the end, flashing out just for safety.
This is insane.
Everyone down in mid.
Goodbye.
Everyone's actually just getting mowed down.
3 MR items, who cares, right?
It did.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, everyone on Oof is doing their job perfectly. I mean, Necroguy holding up Sivan of all people for so long. Honestly, I mean, I understand the idea behind Sivan still pushing Melty's turrets so quickly, but I don't know if they want him out of these team fights. If anything, Uncle Jemima should be matching Necroguy, not Sivan. Oh, but Elder Drake will be going on the side of y'all with 4 buffs on them.
It's actually a 4 buff Elder Drake. That's so scary. If y'all can fight and engage, they could actually easily win a fight. So yeah, I think if you want, if there's gonna be any time in the game where you group as 5 and run it down, it's gonna be now. You gotta make something happen.
Yeah. Yeah, we see. What do we see going on here? I mean, I was gonna mention this earlier, but Sir Everett's actually bought a second item, QSS, just to protect himself from Elucida.
Yeah, and so we were talking about these. So we were talking about, you know, opportunity cost of AP versus AD on Ezreal, but that AP flex in the build definitely giving them, you know, definitely a big positive for them in that last fight, because that 2-shot barrage dealt so much damage and basically blew up Nate from, like, you know, 55% health because he went AP.
Whoa, that is a lot of engage ults completely wasted here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to fight an Elder Drake buffed team.
Yeah, they weren't going for the fight. I don't know if But now YALL is looking to come back, knowing that all these ults are down.
And Slasha hitting the binding on the Mudkips here, but Elucida prepared with that Sleepy Trouble bubble over the wall. Thank God for the black shield as Nate walks into the bubble area. And now the split, this 4-1 pressure coming out of YALL here. I'm not sure about putting the Hecarim in the side lane over there, because you want that front line, you want that engage. I don't mind getting caught up by some Zoe bubbles over here. While in the mid lane though, Jumper's going aggressive onto Sir Everett.
Yeah,
And then have another great bubble on the Slasha. 3-shot barrage coming out, can do a lot of damage to Uncle's Jemima. Find no one. Glacial Prison coming out of Mudkips on the C-Van. Force the pop the Zanyas immediately, but here comes the engage from Oof. Here comes the 5-man follow-up here. They have the fight they want, but it won't be enough. Uncle Jemima going down, Elucid on a rampage as that pony ulting straight into the backline, but forced to pop the stopwatch. Oof is running them down right now, and it's Nate versus the world as Jumpers Arcane shits forward and takes them down. Triple kill for Jumpers and a 5-for-1, mostly clean ace in favor of Oof.
Yeah, I mean, the death time, they have 40 seconds on the death time is, I actually don't know how much they can really get here because of how pushed in they were.
Definitely top lane turret. This Maokai is gonna go straight at it, dude.
Yeah, at a minimum, yeah, that is coming in here. But I mean, that was a game-winning team fight, but it's not gonna end the game here. So, I mean, what does y'all look for here if this game doesn't end the next 30 seconds?
Honestly, they want to look for what they had going on the last time, except don't get caught out and re-engaged on like that. So pretty much the only win condition they have at this point is force 5v5 team fights, get their clean engages onto this Ezreal, onto this Zoe, and they're going to need to figure out a way to get this Elder Drake buff again, because that's probably the only way they win team fights at this point, honestly.
Yeah, most likely, especially now with you know, 2 inhibitors down in this turret facing a siege pretty soon. They're in a rough spot, and honestly, this is really the perfect spot that Oof wants to be in. So they need to unless they make the mistake they made at the beginning of that earlier fight where they burn all their ults without properly engaging, I think they're in a perfect position to just kind of slowly end this game here. Their poke comp works perfect in a siege like this now.
Yeah, this comp from Oof is finally coming online, and it's going to be absolutely crazy seeing how much damage it does going forward, because it's already done so much. We've seen so many crazy moments. Jumper's like basically one-shotting Nate from 60% health with a 3-shot barrage. Freaking disgusting, dude. Oh, man.
And I think I mentioned a little while ago, but I didn't get really fully say, Slaga with a gigantic vision score compared to Slasha, really showing up here on this Nami.
It's actually 111 vision score. Jesus Christ, Slaga's a monster. And yet Slaga the monster, the unsung hero on this Nami this game, has been very clean with his engages, has been setting up so many fights throughout this early to mid game, and is now, in my opinion, performing his job very well going into this late game. Currently sitting on a scoreline of 6-1 and 20 here. Least deaths in the game. I believe highest kill participation in the game as well.
Yeah, looks like it, without a doubt. Yeah, every tidal wave has been on point. The bubbles have been incredibly good, always making sure to keep his carries alive.
Yeah, it's like I've seen a couple tidal waves that like haven't hit people, but like every tidal wave that he's fired has been a good idea.
Yeah, it has impact. You know, even if it doesn't get a kill, it has impact.
Yeah, that's massive damage coming in from the 3-shot barrage. Slaga Slash of course to pop that Zanya's already, and Oof calling the engage going in. Elucidate getting the kill finalites onto Slaga Slasha, and Oof onto this tower. Now gonna take down this tower. Does y'all have any answers to this? Elucidate going forward. This is the team fight they're looking for. Chaos Storm comes out. Mud gets around extremely low and roasted down. Kill going over to. However, y'all gonna have trouble closing out any more of this fight. Their ultimates are all down. And Oof's still looking for a little bit more, perhaps? Seems like they just want to back off.
Yeah, they know that y'all have to protect these Nexus turrets against these super minions. They can just
Psych, they're going back in, boys. Uncle Jemima flashing over, going aggressive onto a Lucida here. And Sir Everett's one angry pony coming out with this devastating charge. Not going to do anything with it at the moment. Meanwhile, we have these super minions crashing into the top lane Nexus turret. Steven forced to go up there on clearing duty. And pressuring this bottom side. Necroguy going in on Nate. And caught up in the gravity field, though, and gonna get mowed down by y'all.
Yeah, another True Shot Barrage almost blowing up C-Van, but I mean, at the end of the day, the third inhib goes down. It is worth it for them. The third inhib has gone down.
That's very true. They now have triple inhibitors going into the base, and Baron buff is up. Sluggish Losh getting caught out in the jungle. Lucida gonna blow him the heck up. That was disgusting damage.
Yeah, but with both junglers alive, what do these teams look for now? Does Oof try to pick up this second Elder so that y'all can't take it? Because y'all is kind of just stuck in their base here as these double super waves begin to move up the lane.
Yeah, start the Elder high tempo, look to close out the game right now. You have all the tools, and you really need to do something before. You know, y'all goes into the base and starts farming up those triple supers over there. So otherwise it's not going to be that good of a time. And y'all going onto the Baron buff here, so much damage being dealt to C-Van already. Almost taken down by the cross-map True Shot Barrage. Lucida so much damage on Uncle Jemima, gonna get the kill. And now Lucida
Baron
over
just
the wall.
leashed by y'all. Oof coming into a half HP Baron who's gonna pick it up here.
That was pretty much y'all's only chance back into this game, really, because they have Elder Drake taken, they have super minions crashing in. At this point, going for that Baron was probably the only option they could have done to kind of right the sinking ship, so to speak. But they still have C-Van here on the Victor with so much damage, and they're going in for the Baron contest, and there it is, the burst coming in. Baron actually being stolen away from C-Van here, but he's going to trade his life away for it. Go over to Lucida. Oh, Glacial Prison, barely gonna miss Sir Everett's ponytail. And Necroguy on the flank, though, with the Righteous Glory, the flash twisted advance on the Sir Everett's gonna get the takedown in the end. And now, 5 members strong in this mid lane. They're angry, they have Elder Drake, they're looking to close this game.
Yeah, finally closing, and despite losing the Baron, getting the much pressure coming out from this team.
Yeah, absolutely, and looking like game 1 going to finally go over to Oof in the end.
Well played, knowing their jobs. I mean, and you can see it by the scores there. And Jumpers with all the kills, and everyone else with all the assists. That's what the comp was for, and they did their job, and well done.
So much damage, come on.
All right, we gotta see this Azriel and
so much damage. Meanwhile, Sean coming in from his armchair caster desk with so much criticism. Oof. So congratulations to Ocean's Obligated Feeders. Very well played game 1, proving that I don't know what they proved.
I mean, looking at the game, who are you looking at for MVP?
Honestly, we'll get Slaga.
I'd say Slaga as well.
Slaga's gotta be a lock for me. He did so well during the early and mid.
I just want to turn on myself. I'm live for a little bit.
But
Slaga for me, please. Hot and cool. Thank you.
Brush are gonna hit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But Slaga consistently having good bubbles, good with tidal waves, and good vision control.
Yeah, that's very true. The case has to be made for Alyssa for a lot of cool plays, though.
Build Zoe from one-shotting somebody, you know?
That's very true.
Yeah. but you can shut down a Nami and keep her from having one death all game. But
we're gonna cut the VOD, just so that we can, for VOD purposes. So we're gonna cut the stream. We'll be right back.